Okay, good morning, everyone. We're group one, and today we're going to talk about Singapore Tuas Port. And our presenters include Jason, Na, and me, Kristen. And this is the content of the presentation. And first, I'm going to talk about the current status of port infrastructure developments. So, Tuas Port is located in the western part of Singapore, and it's officially operated in the September 1st, 2022. And the way this port operated is government planning and enterprise operation. On one hand, the Maritime Port and Port Authority of Singapore, which is MPA, is responsible for the overall port planning, land reclamation, ground improvement, and ensuring navigational safety and port regulation. And on the other hand, the Port of Singapore Authority, which is PSA, they handle the terminal operations such as container handling, crane operation, banking logistics system, and deployment of smart port technologies. And now we'll talk about more details about technology after. And we can see the picture on the left-hand side. And in terms of the performance, Singapore handles about 40 million TEUs in 2025, which is the second busiest port in the world. And right now, Tuas Port, they are in the long-term massive program developments, divided into 4 phases. For the phase 1, it is completed in November 2021, and they are officially operated in 2022. And right now, there are 8 berths in operation. And by the 2027, they are expected to feature 21 deep water berths, which can handle about 20 million TEU annually. And the phase 2 is started in the March 2018, and all 227 cases required for the seawall were done by April 2022. And the first berth for phase 2 is project to begin operation in 2028. And meanwhile, phase 3 and 4 is under the planning stage, and they are expected to finish by the mid-2030. And the entire project is scheduled to full completion in the 2040s. And after fully completed, the port will cover about 1,337 hectares and 66 berths along 26 kilometers of coastline. And it is designed to handle about 65 million TEUs every year, which is intended to cover the capacity of Shanghai Port, and it's almost double Singapore's 2021 volume. And the seabed has been deepened to over 23 meters, which allows the port to accept mega container ships exceeding 400 meters in length. And we can see the picture on the right-hand side. The orange part is the blueprint of the 4-phase developments. And they are also going to consolidate the existing terminal port into Tuas mega automated port, like Tanyang, Pegar, Keppel, and Brani in 2027. And it is going to be followed by Pasar Penang terminal by the 2040s. And another key feature is its automated technologies. So right now, the port operates over 200 automated guided vehicles, and in the future, they will operate more. And they also use real-time control. So a lot of operations in the port are managed remotely through the Tuas Port Control Center, which uses AI and EDA system. And it is to be coordinated equipment, maintenance, and cargo flow in real time. And they also use 5G generation to that equipment in the port communication fast and reliable. And next part, Jason will talk about the second part. Thank you.
and we are going to talk about the challenges in digital transformation, which is about operations and labor. First is system integration and architecture transformation. Traditionally, we use a request and response model, which is like texting. You send a command and you wait for a reply, and there's always a lag. But today, Tuas must upgrade to a modern zero-lag real-time system, which is RTS. The engineering behind this is massive. We have to seamlessly tie together all the AGVS, countless IoT sensors, and a hybrid cloud brain running behind the scenes. Why? Because Tuas Port's ultimate goal is to handle 65 million tubes annually, ensuring perfectly synchronized, error-free data across all platforms at such a massive scale is undeniable our toughest challenge. However, connecting this system is not only the first step. The real challenge lies in the transmission speed. Second is massive data load and lower latency requirements. We need to know that Tuas Port is considering deploying 1,000 automated cranes and another 1,000 AGVS. That's 2,000 heavy machines operating at the same time inside the terminal. Under these conditions, they strive for the ultimate in ultra-low latency. In our daily internet use, we just annoying even a slight lag might, but at Tuas Port, even at 1 million seconds of network latency could cause these machines to call it. So this is an extreme test with zero margin for error. And the third one is network stability. We established the need for zero latency. But that means nothing without a stable connection. Our cranes and AGVS rely entirely on Wi-Fi and 5G. However, the harsh marine environment, massive steel ships, containers, and bad weather constantly interferes with signals. If a machine briefly disconnects, it keeps generating data in the background. Once reconnected, a massive backlog of messages flows to the central server all at once. This sudden data surge can easily overload the system, disrupt operations, and cause the exact paralysis we are trying to avoid. The fourth one is increased cybersecurity risks. Finally, our most critical operation challenge, cybersecurity. By building a fully automated mega hub, we are placing absolute trust in our IT infrastructure. Everything is part of one giant web, but here's the reality. Hyper-connectivity means hyper-vulnerability. And if hackers breach this system, it's not just computers crashing. The entire physical hardware flow will stop. And the supply chain freeze cause staggering economic losses. A cyber attack here is not just an IT issue, it's complete operational varieties. And we are talking about labor force and human capital challenges. First is shift in job nature and skill gaps. They are basically ask their workforce to make a huge leap from muscle power to brain power. These new roles require a much higher level of cognitive and complex decision-making skills, and guiding their existing workforce through this transition is one of the toughest human capital challenges they face. Second is employee resistant and outdated culture. Now telling a crane operator that their new job is to monitor an AI system is not easy. This brings us to a very real emotional obstacle, tech anxiety. Many employees lack digital skills and fear being replaced by machines. When people fear for their livelihoods, it naturally creates friction and resistance. The hard reality at Tuas Port is that human adaptation lags far behind the rapid pace of technological advancement. And the third one is high training cost. So how to leverage this gap? The hard truth is employees cannot easily pivot to technical roles on their own. The enterprise, we cannot just leave them behind and risk massive structural unemployment. The enterprise must step up. This means investing heavily in continuous reskilling, like training a former stevedore and to become a control center operator. It's not a one-time class. It's an ongoing financial commitment to ensure our people involved alongside this part. Economic pressure. This brings us to our final part, the economic pressure. On one hand, rising labor costs force Tuas Port to automate to stay competitive. On the other hand, automation is not a one-time purchase. It creates a relentless cycle. We must continuously invest massive capital, not just in a system upgrades, but in the endless workforce retraining we just discussed. The ultimate challenge is how to sustain the financial momentum of this digital transformation without exhausting the company's resources. That's it. Now.
Thank you, Kristen, for introduction, background of Tuas Port, and thank you, Jason, for challenges in operations and human costs. And now, my content will talk about the implementation and effective analysis of Tuas Port. The first we talk about Tuas Port's policy and implementation. There are 4 sessions in this. We talk about some ecosystem for digitalization and automation, green and sustainable port policy, workforce transformation policy, place development and innovative policy. The first, some ecosystem for digitalization and automation. For example, event-driven architecture. PSA implemented EDA to ensure real-time responsiveness and scalability when handling high-volume data stream. And with 5G private network, we support 5G enabled AGVs and cranes, providing vital low latency connectivity and automated equipment, synchronization across all anchorage. 100 autonomous vehicles and 100 automatic cranes will drive operational efficiency. And then another important platform is a digital port. Actually, this is a single window platform integrated with Singapore NPA, Immigration Checkpoint Authority, Environment Agency, and Port Services to streamline administrative processes. As like Professor Yang already talked about this will enhance port operational efficiency and promoting paperless operation. Another platform is AI, power traffic management. Use AI to predict vessel trajectory and reduce port congestion. And we also talk about maritime cyber assurance and operation center. This will provide real-time security monitoring and threat information sharing. And to have for the developed workforce, government less program, Maritime One initiative will facilitating career conversion to have the existing workforce transition into high-tech growth. And another implementation related to the policies is green and sustainable port policy. The port target net zero emission by 2050 through low carbon operation, use of electric AGV instead of diesel power vehicle. Electrified equipment reduce carbon emission by nearly 50% compared to diesel alternative. Integration of solar panel and adoption of smart energy management system and smart grid and green building. For example, this feature of PSA transport maintenance place. These are the green buildings. And about the workforce, when implementation the smart port policy, the workforce have to train the skill to adopt the new smart ports with the automated system and AI tools. So maybe you have to cooperation with institutes like Singapore Maritime Institute for Training and creating the new roles such as data analyst and automation engineer to serve the smart port. As Kristen already talked about the development of smart port, have this phase develop, 4 phase develop So the development of this port in multiple phases, continuous testing of new technology such as autonomous cranes and blockchain logistics, and pilot project before full-scale implementation. So through the policy and implementation, we can see some effective analysis of Tuas port. This policy significantly improved operational efficiency while advancing paperless processes, reduce human error, and enable 27 port operations. Enhance end-to-end visibility and reduce delays in cargo handling. Support Singapore environmental growth and reduce carbon footprint. Ensure workforce adaptability in a highly automated environment, and also allow flexibility and risk management while adapting innovative. And now we review some limitation of all the content. With the digitalization and automation, we require high upfront investment and strong cybersecurity safeguard. Challenges in incorporating multiple stakeholders and ensure system interoperability. About the sustainability, have some limitations such as sustainability technology are costly, require long-term commitment to minimize return of this. About the workforce, some risks related to the displacement, risk for transition, and risk security programs for the workforce adapt to the new technology in smart home. And also the phase development and innovation policy have some limitation about long implementation timeline, more delayed full utilization of benefits for the investment. Here's some conclusion and future outlook of the Tuas port. The success of Tuas line not only on its physical scale, but in successfully overcoming the dual challenges of ICT infrastructure and labor transition. So the future focus will continue emphasis will be placed on cybersecurity, resilience, and the deep integration of AI across the entire maritime ecosystem. So Tuas ports can serve as a definitive blueprint for smart port digitalization for other global hubs below. Thank you for everyone. Yeah, this finish of our presentation.